What's your you picked the absolute worst person to scam story? My autistic 16-year-old brother Jake got a phone call from someone claiming to be from the IRS, saying he owed $5,000 in back taxes and would be arrested within the hour unless he paid immediately with gift cards. Jake, terrified and not understanding it was a scam, emptied his entire college savings account and bought $4,800 worth of iTunes cards. When I came home from work that evening, I found Jake sitting on his bedroom floor, surrounded by empty gift card packages, sobbing uncontrollably. "I'm going to jail," he kept repeating. "The IRS man said they're coming to arrest me." I gave him all the numbers, but he said it wasn't enough. My heart shattered watching my little brother, who has high-functioning autism and takes everything literally, believing he was a criminal. Jake had been saving for college for 3 years, working part-time at a grocery store, carefully depositing every paycheck because his dream was to study computer programming. "Jake, honey, the IRS doesn't work like that," I explained gently. "Someone lied to you. They stole your money." But Jake couldn't process that adults would lie about being from the government. In his mind, authority figures always told the truth. But he knew my name and said he had my file number. He said I filed taxes wrong last year. Jake had never filed taxes. He'd never even made enough money to need to file. But the scammer had been convincing enough to terrify a vulnerable kid into giving up everything he'd worked for. What these scammers didn't know was that they'd just targeted the younger brother of a federal cybercrime investigator who specializes in tracking international fraud rings. I've spent 8 years with the FBI's Internet Crime Complaint Center, and I've taken down scam operations from Nigeria to Romania to India. I held Jake while he cried, promising him I'd get his money back. Then I went into full investigator mode. First, I had Jake walk me through the entire call while I recorded everything. The scammer had used spoofing technology to make his number appear as if it came from the IRS. He'd known Jake's full name, address, and even the fact that he worked at Kroger, which meant they'd done research or bought his information from somewhere. Within 2 hours, I'd traced the spoofed number to a call center operation in Mumbai using techniques I'd learned tracking crypto scammers. But this wasn't some random small-time operation. The phone number had been connected to over 400 similar complaints in the past 6 months, targeting people with disabilities, elderly victims, and immigrants who might not understand how U.S. government agencies actually operate. I started building a comprehensive case file. Using my federal access to financial crime databases, I discovered this scam ring had stolen over $2.3 million in the past year alone. They specifically targeted vulnerable populations by purchasing lists of people receiving disability benefits, Social Security, or special education services. But I needed more evidence to build a prosecution case, so I did something that would make Jake proud of his big sister. I went undercover. Using a fake identity and voice modulation software, I called the scammer back, pretending to be another scared teenager who'd heard about their tax problem from a friend. They took the bait immediately, launching into the same terrifying script they'd used on Jake. "This is Agent Rodriguez from the IRS Criminal Investigation Division," the voice said with a thick accent that definitely wasn't from any IRS office. "We have a warrant for your arrest unless you can resolve your outstanding debt of $6,200 immediately." I played the scared kid perfectly, asking how to pay, where to buy the cards, acting confused and frightened. Meanwhile, I was recording everything and tracing their entire operation through multiple layers of VoIP routing and virtual phone systems. Over the next week, I called them back repeatedly, building relationships with different scammers in their operation. I learned their real names, their supervisor structure, their daily quotas, even their physical location in a Mumbai office building. But the breakthrough came when I convinced them I was a big fish, a disabled teenager who'd just received a $50,000 inheritance and was willing to pay whatever they demanded to avoid jail. Greed made them sloppy. They connected me to their supervisor, Manager Williams, who got on the phone to personally handle this lucrative victim. In his eagerness to steal a massive amount, he revealed details about their entire operation, including the American accomplices who laundered the money through a network of gift card resellers. I had enough evidence to destroy their entire network. Time to bring in the cavalry. I contacted Agent Sarah Martinez at the FBI's Internet Crime Complaint Center, my old partner before I transferred to domestic cybercrime. Within 48 hours, we had a joint task force involving the FBI, IRS Criminal Investigation, Indian authorities, and Interpol. The operation we launched was massive. While Indian police raided the Mumbai call center at 2 a.m. local time, FBI agents simultaneously arrested 4 American accomplices who'd been laundering the gift card proceeds through a complex network of online resellers and cryptocurrency exchanges. The Mumbai raid was spectacular. Police arrested 23 scammers, seized 47 computers, and recovered evidence of over 10,000 victims across North America. The Indian authorities found detailed victim lists, call scripts specifically designed to target people with disabilities, and training materials teaching scammers how to sound like U.S. government officials. But we weren't done. The American side of the operation had been running for 3 years, laundering millions through a network of complicit gift card buyers. We arrested the ringleader, David Chen, at his Beverly Hills mansion while he was hosting a pool party with money stolen from vulnerable victims like my brother. During the raids, we recovered $847,000 in cash, cryptocurrency wallets worth $1.2 million, and detailed records of every transaction. More importantly, we found lists of upcoming targets, including dozens of disabled individuals who would have been victimized if we hadn't acted. The prosecution was devastating. At the federal trial, Jake bravely testified about how the scam had affected him, describing his autism and how the scammers had exploited his trust in authority figures. The courtroom was silent when he explained how he'd saved every dollar for college because education is how I'll contribute to society. The defense tried arguing their clients were just following orders and didn't understand the impact on victims. That argument died when the prosecutor played recordings of scammers laughing about stupid Americans and bragging about how much money they'd stolen from retards and old people. David Chen, the American ringleader, got 15 years in federal prison and was ordered to pay $3.2 million in restitution. The Mumbai scammers were prosecuted under Indian cybercrime laws with sentences ranging from 3 to 8 years. But the best part was the restitution. Since we'd caught them before they could launder Jake's money, money. His $4,800 was among the first funds recovered. When I walked into his room with a check for his full college savings, he broke down crying again, but this time from relief and joy. The case became a model for international cybercrime cooperation. The FBI now uses our investigation techniques as training material for other agents pursuing similar scam operations. We've helped recover over $12 million for victims and shut down 17 related call centers across 3 countries. Jake started college this fall, majoring in cybersecurity because he wants to help protect other vulnerable people from scammers. His first semester project? Developing software to automatically detect and block scam calls targeting people with cognitive disabilities. 6 months after the trial, I got a letter forwarded through the FBI from one of the Mumbai scammers who'd been released after serving his sentence. He'd found legitimate work as a software developer and wanted to apologize personally to Jake for what he'd done. "I never thought about the real people I was hurting," he wrote. "Your brother's testimony made me realize I was stealing dreams, not just money. I am working now to help police find other scammers because of what your family showed me about the damage we cause." Jake framed that letter and hung it in his dorm room, not because he forgave easily, but because it proved that sometimes justice can actually change people. Last week, Jake called me excited because his cybersecurity professor wants him to intern with the FBI's cybercrime unit next summer. "I want to catch the bad guys like my sister," he told me proudly. "Those scammers thought they were stealing from a vulnerable kid who'd never fight back. Instead, they picked a fight with someone whose big sister has made a career out of hunting down people exactly like them. The best revenge isn't getting even. It's turning your little brother into the person who'll catch the next generation of scammers."